You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pennick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the show that wants to go higher, faster, further, but can't because of that nasty asthma. I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
I'm winded.
And I'm Samantha.
Hello, Winded. How are you?
Oh, perfect. Okay, so we have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning into our pop and geek culture fun time show. We're going to do things a little bit differently this week. We usually start with our check 'em outs, but, variety is the spice of life. So we're going to flip the script and do some news first this week.
For reasons. Don't worry about it.
Don't think about it. We're going to do some news.
Artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it that. So what do we want to start with first? What's the big news for the week? What do you think? And it's not Captain Marvel. Unfortunately, this is being recorded before the movie comes out. So we'll talk about that next week.
Tune in next week for a Captain Marvel episode.
Yes. But this week...
I'll tell you a movie that's been on my calendar.
What?
The Hello Kitty movie.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the Hello Kitty movie. That's going to be a thing.
They recently announced that somebody bought the rights to produce a Hello Kitty movie.
Oh, probably Legendary. They're buying the rights to everything.
It might have been
Right?
Lionsgate.
It could be Lionsgate.
It might as well be Legendary if it's Lionsgate.
But yeah, so that's now it's I'm guessing animated.
Oh, I don't want to think about a
Yeah, just
live
think about
action
the
Hello Kitty.
I want like a Detective Pikachu style.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Hyper realistic Hello Kitty.
Where Hello Kitty says a cuss.
We were all wrong. It's New Line Cinema.
New Lines. Oh, well, that's the third one. Okay.
And they not just rights to Hello Kitty, but all their other characters like Gudetama, My Melody, Little Twin Stars, and more, I would assume.
Oh, that means
Gretzko
they
is
might
in there.
have. Yeah, I was going to say Gretzko should probably be in there as well.
Ooh.
The best Sanrio character.
Yeah.
Right? The most realistic.
Yeah. The most relatable.
Yes.
I don't know, Gudetama is pretty relatable.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know much about Hello Kitty other than she is definitely not a cat. She is a people
That looks like a cat.
that looks like a cat. That is the official standing by Sanrio.
Her last name is White. Her name's Kitty White.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't know
I know
that. Okay. So
I think most of my knowledge comes from the toys that made us. There's one about Hello Kitty. This is actually very good.
yeah, I really like that show.
It
I really
is.
like that a lot.
I'm about ready for another season. Netflix, please.
I love the Star Trek episode where they talked about all like the off-branded things that they
Yeah.
just slap the Star Trek name on, like that stupid hat with
Yeah,
the
helmet.
with the
Yeah.
helmet with the light on top, the emergency helmet.
It was before they really did merchandise like that, and people wanted it, so they just kind of did it.
Kind of did it. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about the Hello Kitty thing. See, I'm totally out the loop. Is Hello Kitty still a thing?
Oh yeah, people still love Hello Kitty.
I think it's mostly a Japanese thing, though.
My question is, how do you make a movie out of something that's not is like just a symbol more than it is a character?
Lego Movie.
True. It's like making a movie about the smiley face, which I
They
guess
did
you could
that.
say that's the emoji
Yeah, that's
movie.
the emoji movie.
But that has a little more. I mean, like the literal like 70s like smiley face. It's like the same concept. It's just a cute thing that you put on other things.
It's almost like if they were to do a feature-length movie of... Oh, God, what's that stupid Japanese mascot?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Dormon?
Domokun.
Domo-kun, the little brown furry guy.
The brown furry thing with the
the
teeth.
mouth. Yes.
Man, I remember when that was popular very briefly here.
Yeah.
Because that was when I worked at FYE, and we got a bunch of their merchandise in one day. Yeah. We never sold any of that stuff.
Hello Kitty is more of a symbol than a character. There's not as...
She's pretty much a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it's like making a movie about the Nike swoosh.
I mean, just do it.
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, no, that took me a second, but yeah, okay.
Thank you.
No, that was good.
I mean, there was Hello Kitty like cartoons and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
that's
there
true.
was an MMO.
There's video games.
true. I don't know. It's just a hard sell. But then again, I'm an adult man. So.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one car that used to drive around town that was Hello Kitty themed?
No.
It was
No, I don't.
It was white, had pink trim, pink rims on the tires.
No, but now I'm sad I missed it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to see it all around on this side of town.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I
don't
think it was
remember
like some lady's like sweet 16 present.
that. Wow.
And that's narrow casting, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I get there were other things, but it's like she's literally an advertising mascot. I mean, so is Hatsune Miku, and yet she has more depth than Hello Kitty.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a game character, but also is
The logo for
a
Sega.
mascot, and
But he has
it's getting a movie.
He has a story around him, though. Like
So
things-
does Hello Kitty. She has fun with her friends.
I guess.
I mean, true.
Yeah, maybe we're just looking too far into it. I mean, she can hang out with Bats Maru and Karopi for an hour. I mean,
What if they went really meta with it, kind of like the Lego Movie did?
where
Where a window decal comes alive?
Sure, why not? She can be friends with the Garfield hanging with the suction cups.
yeah,
And the Calvin peeing on whatever logo you want him to pee on.
Yeah.
my Hello Kitty backpack turned into a real Hello Kitty.
Backpack.
That's still a backpack.
It's still a backpack.
It's
You can
really
hide things in
weird.
there. Yeah.
She unzips her head.
Some weird body horror stuff going on in that movie.
You say that, but the director attached to the project is David Cronenberg. Now, Cronenberg's Hello Kitty.
Sorry, I'm just imagining The Thing, but with Hello Kitty merchandise.
She puts a VHS tape into her stomach,
Oh,
like
jeez.
Videodrome.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go.
Hello Kitty presents Rabid.
Wow.
It's like the brave little toaster. But with Hello Kitty stuff.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it's a sad movie.
Right?
But it's a good movie.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but I remember being incredibly sad as a kid.
I never
that
watched
one
any of
time.
the ancillary ones, like Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars.
I don't think you have to.
I mean,
Although it was based on a book, and so was the Ghost to Mars. That was the written sequel. So
Well, there you go. All right, so hey, we talked about it a little bit while discussing the Hello Kitty thing, but let's talk about the big thing. So Sonic the Hedgehog.
they finally released what he looks like.
not on purpose. It was an
Yeah, it was-
accidental leak.
It was an accidental leak, but it was confirmed.
Hey, guess what? It's as bad as you thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, it looks so
Oh boy.
rough.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Remember those gloves Sonic wears, like an old cartoon? Yeah, well, he didn't have those. He just got white fur on his
Just
hands.
Small, tiny white hands.
Human furry hands.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part about the whole thing is that he is human,
Shaped.
shaped except for his head.
Yeah, he's got like a giant mascot head.
Speaking of Cronenberg, it
Yeah,
looks like a
right.
human body horror Sonic the
yeah,
Hedgehog.
no, it's yeah.
like created in a lab against his will by combining hedgehog DNA and human DNA.
Yeah,
It's the fly.
Yeah, it's the fly, but a blue hedgehog. Yeah. Oh man, and there have been a lot of people online, a ton of people online that have been going through and editing those couple of leaked photos to make it better.
To make it actually look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, and it's something as simple as tweaking the nose and
The
making
eye.
the eyes more like the actual Sonic.
And
That's all it needs.
just moving his spines around a little bit.
Just a
to
little bit.
Hit
Yeah.
that iconic silhouette that he has.
Right, because the way it is now, it just looks... Oh, it looks bad.
Man, even old school pudgy Sonic looks better than the movie Sonic.
I love classic Sonic.
Classic Sonic's great. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've said this before on this show, but this is the one thing about Sonic the Hedgehog that was inarguably good, and
His design.
It's what works about Sonic is that he looks cool, and he looks cool to kids.
Yeah.
That he's coasted on that for, I don't know, since Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, I don't understand why they needed to make him hyper realistic in the first place. Why didn't they go like a Roger Rabbit?
Yeah. I mean, that would make more sense.
Just lean hard into hey, there are human people and then there are super cartoony looking
It's
like
the way the
animal.
games. It's the way the games already
That's
are.
how Sonic X was.
How Sonic Adventure takes place in the real world, but there's also cartoon animal
Even
people.
Sonic 06.
Yeah, it's not a crazy concept. People would have been very accepting.
Yeah.
I mean,
As long as he doesn't smooch a human girl.
Yeah, I'm sure
People
he will.
didn't like that in Sonic 06.
I'm sure he
Do you
will
remember
anyway.
that?
Yeah, I
when,
wonder
when
if he
Sonic
will.
smooched a human girl? Oh, you know he will.
Cheating on Amy. Oh,
That's no. Have they had? Is there going to be any other characters?
Robotnik.
Oh, but no Tails,
No, as far as I know, there's
no
no
Knuckles.
no.
Oh, can you imagine what they would do to Knuckles?
Can you imagine what they do to Big the Cat?
Rouge the Bat.
They make
Oh
Knuckles.
God! Oh God!
They make Knuckles look like a real echidna. You'd be ready to have nightmares.
Oh no! There are multiple reasons why that would be a horrible thing to sight to see.
They lost a way.
Yeah.
They
it's just
tried to fix something that was the one part of Sonic the
That
Hedgehog
wasn't broken.
yeah. And okay, so that actually just talking about the other characters in this movie just kind of made me think of something. If Sonic looks this bad, what is Jim Carrey as live action Ivo Robotnik going to look like?
Oh no! Is he still going to be shaped like an egg?
He's got to.
What if he looks like that time that Steve Carell cosplayed as Gru on the Ellen show?
I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
I think you
That's it. Yeah, you got it.
Combined with a little bit of Al Roker as Charlie Brown.
Oh no! Oh no!
If you haven't seen the cast of the Today Show in their Peanuts costumes, it's something to look up.
No, it's not.
Woodstock.
Oh God,
Oh my God.
Kathy Lee's scary enough the way it is, and then you put it. Was she Snoopy or Woodstock? Was Hoda Woodstock? I don't know. One was Snoopy, one was Woodstock, and it was terrifying.
No, I can just picture Al Roker with that plaster, like curly Q
and those
thing and those weird fake ears.
ears.
Oh, it's so bad.
That's what it's gonna look like. That's what Robotnik is gonna look like.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that.
Oh,
boy.
man.
Oh boy.
And you know what's weird is that it works for Detective Pikachu. Doesn't work for Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's
because
thing.
the models
Yeah.
in Detective Pikachu look right.
Yeah, I guess their
They
shape
at least have
is still there.
They still have the same iconic shape. They just changed the texture
Yeah,
on them.
which works.
Like if they made Pikachu look like a yellow anatomically correct rat.
With like a worm tail that wasn't a zigzag.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, like, could you imagine how bad those Pokemon models would look if they didn't have the textures? Like a flat yellow Pikachu.
It'd be okay, but it wouldn't be as interesting.
It would be acceptable.
Yeah.
People wouldn't like complain too much about it. But yeah.
I mean, I like that good scaly Charizard.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
They just didn't betray the original concepts, and that's what the Sonic does. Is it completely throws everything into the garbage and starts from scratch with a monster.
Yeah.
It slapped it in the face and spit on it as it ref too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
I'm not even that huge of a Sonic fan. I mean, I like Sonic games enough, but
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
played
But,
most
like,
of them.
Yeah.
but I am still offended by this awful design.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania was great. That game's
Sonic
a blast.
Amazing
Sonic
is-
Mania was really good.
It's
Yeah.
better. It's the best Sonic game, I would say.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. That Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
But that's
But
in Sonic
it's in
Mania.
Sonic Mania.
I know.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I got to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a
It
nice
was
little
Yeah, it was a great surprise.
Oh yeah. My favorite surprise from that was the three that were in Sonic the Fighters.
Oh yeah.
Pop up it's like Bean
The Dynamite.
Bean the Dynamite, who's like a duck looking thing. Fang the Sniper.
I love
Fang the Snipe
I
or
love
whatever.
Fang the Sniper.
And Chill the Polar Bear. I think that's what that
I
thing
think.
was.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they'd never been in a 2D Sonic game. They were just kind of in
Sonic Fighters.
Sonic Fighters.
No.
Oh no, they weren't.
Fang is in the Game Gear Sonic games.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
He kind of has a Knucklesy role in those.
Oh really? Okay. Cool.
Which, when I was a kid, I played more of those than I did any of the other ones because I had a Game Gear and not a
same here. Yeah, I had Sonic 2 for the Game Gear for that brief moment where I owned a Game Gear.
And could afford the amount of batteries it took.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've talked about on here like my very short history with the Game Gear, where I played through the game Rise Star and got all the way to the final boss, and my batteries died, and I set it down and said, I'm done with this.
You're never hurting anyone again.
I'm done with Game Gear forever.
Yeah.
I only had one in junior high because some kid I was friends with traded his entire Game Gear and collection of games to me for something I don't even remember. Like, I made out with like a bandit in this trade.
Oh, that's awesome.
It might have been something like a Nintendo 64 game, a Soul game.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This is the same kid I traded Star Wars Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64 for Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Let's see. In junior high, I think I traded a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards for a copy of Wario Blast for the Game Boy.
Featuring Bomberman. That's a good trade. That was a good game.
It was a good trade.
I traded a bunch of Magic cards once for... There was an Iron Man game on the PlayStation 1.
Was it the Exo Man Award?
Yeah.
That game is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I felt quite robbed. Memories.
Yep. So, wait, do we all have memories of trading Magic the Gathering cards?
Well, back in the 90s, they were as good as cash.
You're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure my school cafeteria took Magic cards.
I don't know what I did with my Magic cards. I must have traded them
You
away
must
for
have traded
something.
them for something.
We had
That's how it works.
we had a barter system in middle school. And then the Pokemon card game came out.
How many fire lands does it take for me to get a sandwich in this cafeteria?
Nothing, because no one wants basic lands. Everyone has
true.
a billion of them. They wanted your Phyrexian dreadnoughts and Urza's strongholds, which are all real Magic cards, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't doubt that for a second.
I will trade you 5 planeswalkers for an order of French fries and a zebra cake.
Or hear me out. I'll give you this gold legendary 5-color dragon for that school pizza.
You know what?
Guys, I have the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Get out of here, Tad.
Oh, man.
Yu-Gi-Oh's for losers.
Believe in the heart of the cards.
Yeah. You just wait till I activate my trap card. Then they'll see.
Oh, man. I remember someone came to school with, like, the plastic blade.
Oh,
card holder?
That stupid card holder that was, like,
the hollow
spring-loaded
disc
that,
thing?
like, sprung out.
Yeah.
I
Magic
remember
the
that
Gathering
thing.
doesn't have clothing accessories.
Or a sweet Millennium puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I feel like Magic would have like a cloak that you wear, and then you open it up, and the cards are. In
Oh,
the
yeah,
cloak,
they're
and
in there,
you
yeah.
them out.
They made a D&D setting based off the world of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I actually,
It's called like Ravnica or something like
something
that.
like that. I actually wouldn't mind trying that because I always kind of liked.
The lore of the
The
Magic
lore.
world is kind of cool.
Yeah,
See-
like the Planeswalkers characters are very cool looking.
Yeah, I always liked the art on the cards, and I always
Oh,
liked
yeah.
reading the flavor text at the bottom. I was terrible at the game.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't think I ever played the game right once. Honestly,
Todd Lockwood did a lot of stuff for Magic.
I knew how to play it, but there was one time we were playing it at a friend's house and not in the cafeteria at school, and it
Who
dawned on
does
me.
that?
Yeah, it dawned on me like this isn't fun here.
yeah,
Like we could be doing so many other things that are better than this right now.
yeah. No, Magic the Gathering was only fun in the absence of other things to do.
Yeah, exactly. When all you have at school lunch is the ability to throw cards down, you will do that.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
you will enjoy it.
We
Yeah.
actually, me and my friends, got enough signatures and enough interest in my school during middle school. We had a card game club
Nice.
during club time.
And you were all the most popular kids in the school.
I mean, there were some of us who were actually there to play games, and then there were a couple girls who just wanted a club to get away from, like, basically a study hall or a time to, like, goof off.
Oh man, I didn't play so much at lunch, but
almost never had
junior
time to
high
play at
home
lunch.
ec, the junior high home ec teacher, she didn't have a real firm grasp on the classroom, and
So basically, you guys kind of run amok.
a little bit, yeah, and it ended up being a lot of Magic the Gathering, and
Sometimes you might make a spaghetti.
sometimes we made a spaghetti, yeah. But wow, good memories. Jiminy Christmas.
I tap these meatballs, and I murder, and I mana burn your stroganoff.
See, it's crazy to me to think that we all went to different schools.
Yes.
In junior high or whatever, but we all had like these same kind of shared, kind of very similar.
I mean,
kind of things that happened. That's kind of neat to me.
It was a very '90s thing.
It was, yeah.
Oh yeah, Magic was huge in the 90s.
It's still kind of big though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
people
Yeah.
like Magic tournaments still bring out a lot of people.
Sure, yeah.
Like I know that's one of the big things at the game shop in Mount Gilead is they have commander tournaments.
The one
and
in
stuff.
Delaware too.
I feel like the one in Delaware runs on Magic cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really does. In
just about.
in spite. I went
Wow.
to one of the new comic shops in Delaware.
Oh yeah, which one?
I
Was
tried.
it Secret Identity or Flying Monkey?
I went to Flying Monkey. I tried to go to Secret Identity, and I
They
found
have weird hours.
well, it wasn't just that. Is there was no parking.
Yeah, no, you have to park on the street and walk.
I couldn't even get a place to
Secret
park.
Identity. Yeah,
It's Delaware. You got to park on the street
yeah.
and
See,
walk.
that's the thing. Secret Identity's right there on
It's a hole in the
Sandusky. It's
wall.
right. Yeah, it's right there in town. Flying Monkey's over by the
Walmart.
the Walmart, and the Kroger
And that
off of
plaza.
23.
Oh.
Yeah, and they do D&D stuff in there every once in a while too. I've been wanting to go in there, but they're never open when I have a chance to when I'm off work.
Yeah, I went in there. It's not bad. They had a lot of stuff in
I'd
there.
like to
Nice.
do a D&D night like that, but I'm afraid like I'll be the only one there that doesn't know what they're doing. And like I'll just get laughed out of the building.
Well, if it's on the weekend, let me know. I'll come down. It's fine.
Okay.
We'll both not know what
Yeah.
we're doing. It'll be okay.
We'll both get gatekeeped out of the building.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're having a Magic Commander tournament at a LARP event I've got coming up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like,
You can come in with your sword, your fake sword, and be like, "What is this sorcery?" and just like knock all the cards around.
blap blap blap, and then somebody kicks my butt for real.
Walk up to someone. I tap my lands. Whap.
Did you see a Black Lotus sold for like $180,000 or something
Yeah.
the other day?
Is what?
That's a
Is that a magic card?
It is
Yeah.
a magic card.
See,
It is one of the, for some reason,
This is news. This is technically a news item.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Cool.
It
Yeah,
is.
Let's talk about it.
man, we have really gone off the rails today.
It's fine. I'm good with it.
For some reason, I don't even know why, because it's not even that great of a card. But the Black Lotus, because I think it's because of its rarity.
It was one of the original run cards, I think.
Yeah, it was. It's a old Magic card, like third set in.
Oh wow.
It was an artifact, and they've been selling over the years for obscene amounts of money.
Yeah.
And this newest one sold for like $186,000. Something like it. It's like its new record or whatever.
Wow.
One card
That's
I can't even fathom spending that much money on.
on a
No.
Magic
On
card.
a card.
yeah. That's unreal.
I can't imagine that either. It's not like it's like a first edition Blastoise.
Shiny Charizard.
Yeah.
Action Comics #1.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, my brother and I had so many first edition Pokemon cards because we bought them as soon as they came out.
Oh, I did too. I had so many.
Yeah, and now I don't know where they've all gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then recently they brought out like their retro whatever, and it has like original art and stuff from the 90s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
On the
I
Magic
somehow
cards.
ended up with a bunch of those.
Oh,
I have a whole stack of them
I've still got
somewhere.
Pokemon cards laying around. I mean, it plays a lot like Magic. It's
Yeah.
basically Magic.
Yeah,
It's
I've never played the game. I just for
It's
some
a
reason
fun
have
game.
a bunch of cards.
It's a good card game. I like it.
Yeah.
I was at my dad's. This would have been a couple years ago now. I was going through my old room looking for something, and I went into my closet, and underneath a box in the bottom of my closet,
Underneath the skeletons.
yes, behind the gremlin, to the left.
Come
of the,
on in here.
I was just thinking that. Homestar Runner. Good stuff.
Sorry, I said gremlin, and then my brain started thinking goblin, and then I went to Trolls 2, and I'm sitting. I'm like, do you want some, Joshua?
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Oh, that movie is such
yeah.
sweet, terrible
Awful.
trash.
All right.
But I found a holographic shiny Cyber Leomon Digimon trading card.
Okay.
I had some of those.
I played the game a lot. I liked the Digimon card game.
You're one of those weird kids that like Digimon better than Pokemon.
Yes. Here's the thing: the Digimon anime was great.
Yeah, it
their
was.
video games were meh.
Oh, they were weird and
They
bad.
were weird and hard to play. Yeah.
Unlike Pokemon, where the anime was kind of meh, and the games were good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Plus, the
Also,
Digimon designs were just better.
Digimon are digital monsters. And
Digimon are the champions.
Are the
Are the
champions.
champion. All right, hey, let's go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll get into some more news.
It's some actual news.
Hey, we're back. That was City Escape by Crush 40, the Sonic song.
We talked enough about the old blue hedgehog boy. We thought, why not do a Crush 40 classic?
Yeah, so that was in Sonic Adventures 1, right?
Yes.
2?
I thought it was 2.
I thought it was one.
It's
thought-
one of those.
I'm going to go on the record saying it was 2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because you come down off the helicopter with the helicopter blade snowboard into the city,
Oh, yeah.
I could have sworn that's the first one,
and you
though.
get chased by the government truck.
The truck. Yeah, I think that is 2.
Anyway.
Anyway, before we get into the news, I just want to take a minute and thank some of our Patreon supporters. Like you heard during the break, we do have a Patreon, and one of the levels is you get thanked on the air for being a backer. So this week I'd like to thank Lori, Mike, Nicole, and someone named Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But so thank you all for being part of the show, and if anyone else would like to be part of the show or are interested in checking out some of the things that we're doing,
You can get the show early.
yeah, that's one of the things you can do. Along with other things, you can go to patreon.com/nerdoverload now. I'm sure we'll mention that at the end of the show again as well. Anyway, let's get back into the news. So this next thing that we're talking about is
Speaking of Japanese characters getting films.
oh yeah. So there's going to be a live action Gundam movie.
Yeah, that's the word on the street, I guess.
I have not heard anything about this.
They had the director. It was
Brian K. Vaughn.
and that's probably about all they have.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here.
Was he the director or is he the writer? Because Brian K. Vaughn wrote Y the Last Man, the comic series, as well as he's a pretty prolific comic.
He has signed
writer.
on to write the screenplay
Right.
for Gundam.
Okay.
Okay, so he's not the director.
Yes. It's owned by Sunrise, and it's being done by Legendary Entertainment.
Of course.
So it's going to be like the Power Rangers movie version of Gundam.
Yeah.
I hope not, because it's a little different than that.
But this is Legendary we're talking about.
Well, this is true. I hate the fact this article says it's the first live-action film based on the thing, because it's not.
Well, it only counts when Americans do it, apparently.
The last one was with Americans.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah.
There
It's
was-
called G Savior. I've seen the movie. It's terrible.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, because I am the resident Gundam guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, Resident Gundam guy, what is Gundam in like
Well,
2 minutes or less?
Maybe even less if you can do that.
Yeah.
well, the problem is there's a lot of different Gundam series.
Pick the most popular one and tell me a Gundam.
Okay.
Pick the one with the robot that's in Ready Player One.
Okay, that's the RX-71. That's the original Gundam.
Okay.
So that came out in 1979. Gundam.
We have opened a Pandora's box.
Yeah, you want to talk about some stuff. I can talk about Gundam.
Hey Cody, you want to get your hand on the
Yeah.
on the Gundam button?
the Gundam button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the Gundam talk stop.
Basically, the universe of Gundam is a far future of mankind, where mankind has spread out into the stars, so to speak, of space colonies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is the far-reaching influence of the Earth government on these space colonies, and space colonies wanting independence.
So it's kind of like Space Civil War, a little tiny bit.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Actually,
Okay.
Mixed with like a little bit of like World War II-ish.
Yeah,
kind of
so it's
things.
like the colonies versus the main planet.
Yes.
And we follow the main planet Earth defense, correct?
Depends on the series.
Gotcha.
Because honestly, the thing with Gundam is, the space colony people tend to be painted as the bad guys, but the Earth people do a lot of bad stuff too.
And that was kind of the point of the series,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like it's, no one's good, no one's
War is bad, guys.
Yeah,
War-
it's pretty much it. It's the horrors of war and
But
political power.
You're burying the lead of Gundam.
it's giant robots.
yes. And one of the big things of these wars are giant robot suits that are piloted. Not all of them are Gundams. That Gundams are the most powerful.
Yeah.
But they're called mobile suits.
Mm-hmm. And they look like people, and they have like swords and sometimes
Laser swords and guns.
sometimes like short range guns. Is like, wasn't there a thing where like the reason they couldn't just like aim like long range laser cannons at each other like you would think they would is because like the accuracy would be off or
It depends.
something.
A big thing of the original series is a lot of the mobile suits had nuclear reactors inside them, and so you had to be careful where you hit them.
Oh, okay. So it's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Kinda, yeah.
Except everybody dies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some dark stuff in the Gundam and whatnots.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's giant robots. A lot of certain characters against each other. There are
Interpersonal dramas.
lots of that.
Very much a space opera.
There's a whole bunch of space
kinda
opera stuff.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you mentioned there are a million different versions of Gundam that
Yes.
take place at different times and like different
Some are different times. Some are completely different universes.
What do you suppose this is going to be based on? This live action is going to be based on?
Well, I kind of hope it's based off the original universe, the Universal Century they called.
That's the one where they fight the red guy with the dumb helmet,
Yep.
right?
Well, here's the thing with Gundam. Guy with a helmet is very common.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's always generally a character who wears a mask and or a helmet. He's typically always blonde, too.
Okay, so see, I know a little bit about Gundam.
Yeah,
the guy's name's like Char or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah,
Char Ansible. Yep.
Yeah. See, I don't do anime, but the allure of giant robots in space, it's there.
Oh, yeah, there are some really good series, and Hulu has a handful of them, including a one about Char called Gundam Origins. It's fairly new.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, so you're saying this movie isn't going to be about the robots that are like tiny people size?
Oh, G Gundam?
Yeah.
That's G
Those
Gundam,
weren't
right?
people. Those weren't
Oh, they
tiny
weren't?
people size.
They were smaller than people size?
No, they were big.
Oh.
They're just
Oh.
as big as other Gundams.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were like, because they were like the weird chibi size, like
No,
weird...
that's SD Gundam.
Oh, yeah, that's. I was about to say, where does the SD Gundam fit
That's
in all
SD
this?
Gundam. That was the people size stupid anime.
Oh, okay.
But no, G Gundam is the one where it's basically Dragon Ball with Gundam,
Oh, nice.
where everyone's had like a karate fighter and it's like a tournament thing.
No, that sounds pretty great.
It's weird and it's problematic.
Oh, because everybody is based on a race of people.
A nation.
It's
yes.
like Punch Out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And they're all broad stereotypes with their
Uh-huh.
robots.
Yep.
Oh,
The
no.
Mexican Gundam is called
Yikes.
Tequila Gundam.
Yikes,
That
Rooney.
sounds pretty rad, though.
And he has like a
To
big
be
sombrero and a poncho.
To be completely
boy.
honest, that sounds totally rad.
Actually, that does sound pretty cool.
One of the coolest ones, though, was Royal Gundam. He's the British one. And he looks like a British, like, palace guard. With
Oh,
the big,
with the big
beefeater.
hat.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, that one's a weird series, and it's less piloting like a fighter jet, like regular most Gundams are, and more of a you stand inside and the Gundam mimics your movements. So everyone's got some kind of fighting skill,
Okay.
or
yeah.
special power, or
Gotcha.
whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Universal Century is one of the most grounded of the Gundams. It's also the most series are about that time era, whatever, and things connecting to it.
That's what it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
For my money, that's what.
Well,
they're
here's
gonna
the
do.
thing: Gundam Wing was also incredibly popular.
This is true.
Gundam Wing had a team of 5 Gundams.
And pretty boys.
Yes, they're all
It's
pretty
very
boys.
popular with the ladies.
Yeah, and all the different Gundams had like a weird theme. One of them was Death Scythe Gundam. He looked like a Grim Reaper and stuff like that.
I think I've seen that one.
Yep.
Because there were a lot of toys and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was extremely popular over here during the
Toonami.
early 2000s.
The hot days
Yeah.
of Toonami, back when they had Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball.
Yep,
Oh,
Dragon
right,
Ball
yeah.
and Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
They did have one movie for Gundam Wing. It was actually pretty good. It was called Endless Waltz.
I remember that name.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of different Gundam series, but most of them have to do with the Universal Century. So but the problem is the space colonies kind of have a World War II German kind of vibe.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Oh.
that might be problematic. I mean, it's mostly their look, like their uniforms and things like that.
Yeah.
Some people in the fandom like to call them the space Nazis. But they weren't like that politically
Right,
in the
right.
show. I don't know. It just depends. Or they just might go with a whole original story and not tied into anything.
Yeah.
That's kind of how G Savior was.
Okay. Well, last question about this because we've got to move on.
Yes.
But, adapting animes and adapting things from cartoon to live action or from television to screen, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Do you think Gundam works being adapted from a long-running television series, like from even taking one season as a series and adapting it to, even if they adapt it to like a 2 or 3 movie
Yeah, because it's a
series,
long-running
it's a long-running
serialized.
series. Do you think it's going to work?
I mean, in theory, it could because it's if they get the meat of it right. Because anybody can do giant robots fighting. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Pacific Rim.
And it's not dumb. Like, Gundam's not a dumb giant robot thing. There's a lot of thought going into it, it feels like.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of, like I said, interpersonal relationships and political nuances in Gundam.
Yeah. But do you think too much of that would be snipped out for the sake of it being a 2.5 hour movie instead of
summer
a
popcorn
60-hour television series?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to really say.
Legendary's going to want a Pacific Rim out of this.
Sure.
Is what I'm thinking. I think they're going to butcher it.
I think there'll be some cool fights, and I'm sure the different mobile suits will look cool. But I think they might miss the mark on the spirit of it.
Yeah. It could still be a good movie. I don't want to be I was too negative that first time around saying butchering it.
Yeah.
It could still be a good movie, but I feel like it won't be like a
Great
Gundam movie.
adaptation. Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, I love Pacific Rim, and that movie's dumb as hell.
But
But there are some cool scenes in that movie.
I love the Gundam design so much more than any Western giant robots.
Originally, the original Gundam was supposed to be all white, and then the creator of it, at the time, because it was 1979, thought it looked too much like a stormtrooper,
Yeah. and
and it was bad enough that they had laser swords already.
Oh, yeah.
So he changed it and he added some color and stuff like
some
that.
blue and some yellow
Yep.
and some primary
Yep.
colors.
Yeah, Gundams typically kind of look like a samurai.
Yeah.
With the big helmet crest and stuff like that.
Well, they just have more interesting things going on. Most Western designed mechs, like your battle techs and your mech warriors, they're too utilitarian and military-y looking to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
agree.
yeah.
Where
yeah.
Gundam has some flourish and some interesting designs.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because I tell you, there are some weird looking mobile suits. That's my take on it. I'll go watch it because it's got the Gundam name on it. And I'll watch just about anything they put out.
I might have to look up those Gundams that are on the Hulu because I wouldn't mind getting into it. It seems like something I might enjoy.
There's a handful in there. Netflix has a couple too. Netflix has Gundam Unicorn, which is part of the UC, but it takes place.
It sounds beautiful.
It actually has a really cool design. Like it looks like kind of it has like one big white horn coming out of the helmet, but then when it goes into its fighting mode or whatever, it splits apart into like the golden crest that normal Gundams have.
The golden arches.
Ba 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 ba. I'm Gundam it.
So that should have been the opening for the show this week. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Nerd overload.
Save it for next week. All right. So yeah, let's pick another topic. We have a little bit more time.
Brightburn.
Okay, Brightburn. Yeah. So this kind of came out of nowhere for me at least.
James Gunn.
So yeah, James Gunn. The first thing he's working on post
Guardians.
Guardians,
Post Marvel
I guess.
firing.
Post he got done dirty by Disney.
Yeah. So he is doing it's another superhero film, which I mean is kind of in keeping with some of the things he does, but it's kind of going back a little bit to his what was the one with Rainn Wilson? Super.
Oh man,
Kinda
I forgot
to those
about that.
I was
Roots
thinking about
a little bit.
Slither, but
Yeah, that too. But
Super's
yeah.
a hard movie to watch.
So Brightburn looks at first an awful lot like just Superman or Superboy.
A Superman / Superboy ripoff.
Like almost a 1-for-1 copy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Of
like
it.
I'm surprised there isn't some sort of legal situation happening.
Especially the way the movie takes a twist from the way it looks. So it's set in rural, farm
America.
town,
Brightburn, Kansas. I
Brightburn,
think.
Kansas. Yeah.
Oh, it's even Kansas. Oh,
Wow.
I think it was.
I think
it was
so.
Kansas.
Yeah. Where an alien child falls to Earth and is raised by a farmer couple. And the kid somehow, starts developing superpowers like super strength and flight and laser vision. Stop me if this sounds familiar. But instead of becoming a
Wasn't
champion,
that Freakazoid?
yeah, Freakazoid, yeah,
No, we got sucked inside the internet.
yeah, a little different. But no, instead of this kid fighting for truth, justice, and the American way,
Just has some problems.
has some anger management problems. And just maybe
and
some
social
issues
some
and
bullying going on.
and just some emotional issues to where this is a horror movie.
Like a real kid would have if they were burdened with the power of Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the two things that kind of struck me. I mean, it is really visually it's scary.
Oh yeah, a lot of the
it's like
shots.
it's like a dark, twisted Smallville.
Yeah, it's a horror movie where your killer is Superboy, basically.
I initially, when I read the synopsis, I thought this sounds like the most edgelordy,
Oh yeah,
obvious idea I've ever heard.
But
seeing
they do
that
it.
trailer, they do it so well. At least it looks so good that I'm in now.
yeah. Oh yeah, totally in.
I mean, it's not unheard of to have a dark Superman type story.
Yeah.
It's been done in comics before by various
Sure.
people.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned before we started recording Irredeemable by Mark Waid, which was really good.
Even
There's another one called Steelheart.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
even the existing Superman stuff within the
The Elseworld.
the ill-formed DC extended universe was toying with the idea.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, the way this kid acts in this trailer and the way that the Clark Kent from the current Warner Brothers DC movies acts, it's like one step away.
Yeah.
It's like one extra little edge away from it.
They even use the Man of Steel font within
Yeah,
the trailer.
that's pretty crazy. That's the other thing that really got me. I don't know how they're not getting in trouble, how they're not getting slapped with some kind of, lawsuit or something.
Maybe the themes for Superman are just a little too generic that no court can actually hold it up.
Yeah, that might be.
That could be.
But this has some specifics that are pretty on the nose, though, too.
It almost makes me think that this script was maybe originally written as a Superman script. That a couple of names were changed here and there, and
You know what? You know why I didn't like it at first? Now that I think about it, it sounds like a Max Landis concept.
yes, you're absolutely right. It does seem like something a Max Landis, someone who's like, "Ooh, I'm too smart for all you people, and I'm going to make something that's just so edgy." turned everything on its head.
You mean like Todd McFarlane and his current Spawn movie?
It's not
Yeah.
that he promises won't be any fun.
Yeah, no one will have fun in this. But no, this movie looks really good. It stars Elizabeth Banks as the kid's mom.
And she's always good.
And she's always great. David Denman, who was Roy from The Office, is there.
Who's a big old jerk.
Who's, you know what? I like him as an actor. You know, he plays kind of a jerk in a lot of his roles, but he does a good job as that character.
I'm definitely interested on seeing what they do with this movie.
Yeah, me too.
But part of me is like, some of my favorite horror movies are ones that involve evil children. Like Orphan.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Orphan's
Omen.
Omen, yeah. Orphan's a really good movie. I like the I'm glad they never released the twist.
Problem Child.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Blank Check.
Does Child's Play count?
Richie
No.
Rich.
Problem Child 2.
Problem Child 2.
What was that? Oh, man, there was an older movie about an evil little girl. What was it called?
Can you imagine
The
if
Good
they
Child?
did Richie Rich today?
Oh, man.
That could be so funny. And
It'd be so good.
they could take a real bite out of that market.
Uh-huh.
Like really make fun of like the Instagram model millionaires and
Yep.
like the Kardashians and stuff. That's a gold mine.
It is.
I'll take my
Yeah.
$1 million off the air, Hollywood.
In small unmarked bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited for Brightburn. I'll watch it.
Oh yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think if it was anybody but James Gunn, we would have a questionable film on our hands. But
Yep.
I trust James Gunn.
He's made enough quality. I trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Absolutely.
And Slither is a great movie.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
gross. It's very gross, but it's a very good movie.
Yep.
And now, next on the news train, do we want to talk about Sakurai's work ethic?
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to talk about with it, which is fine because we're actually getting close to time.
Other
But yeah.
than he is not a man.
He's a machine.
So yeah. So is it Masahiro? Is that his?
Yeah,
his name?
Masahiro Sakurai.
So the guy who created Kirby and
Super Smash
Super
Brothers.
Smash Brothers most recently.
With Iwata.
Yeah.
They both kind of created it.
Yeah. So he has. It's always been kind of known that he is kind of a workaholic.
Yeah, he has a notoriously ridiculous work ethic.
Yeah.
But we hadn't really gotten details until recently he did an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And it really revealed just how ridiculous the man is.
There's being a workaholic, and there is like pouring all of yourself into your job, and then there is borderline mental illness. Like he had before Nintendo forced him to take 2 days off a week, he was working 7 days a week, around 80 to 90 hours a week on games, passing out at his desk because he would not take care of himself, and at one point would just bring in, an IV and plug himself into an IV to keep himself full of nutrients
To keep plugging away at Super Smash Brothers.
to keep on working.
He said he hand enters a lot of the parameters and the data because anybody else would just do it wrong and they'd have to do it again.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He said that if they were to get more people to work on if they would move his workload, it would take multiple people to do the amount of work that he does.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much of this is him and how much this is part of the cultural identity that is Japan.
I'm sure a little bit of it is the cultural identity. However, Nintendo as a whole in Japan, they have a fairly lax work environment. Their employees work an average of less than 40 hours per week. They don't have serious crunch times like a lot of
other developers
and other businesses over there. So I want to say
in the interview, Sakurai said he could work on Smash Brothers as much or as little as he wanted, as long as it gets done.
Yeah,
and this is how he chooses.
And he chooses, apparently. Yeah, and even now that he's being forced, like they are forcing him to take 2 days off a week. He still puts in 10-hour days, 5 days a week. So he's putting in 50 hours a week minimum on a game that's already out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude needs to chill.
Yeah.
Dude needs a vacation.
Yeah, he destroyed his arm when he was making Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, like blew all the ligaments in his hand and arm because the controls weren't great.
Now he has to use a special computer mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that
of
is
it.
messed
That
up.
you lean in to click instead of push the button.
That is messed up. That's carpal tunnel syndrome to like 11.
Oh yeah, like someone should step in.
Yeah.
And take care of this guy.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
I feel bad for his wife.
He's married?
He's married.
Oh my god. When does he see her?
I don't know. His wife did all the menus in Smash Brothers.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which I don't care for, but that's neither here nor there.
But yeah. Okay, so I guess what we want to say is, Mr. Sakurai-san, take care of yourself.
Massive hero soccer guy.
Yeah.
Please take a vacation. You've more than earned it.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
He just never... He'd fall asleep and then sleep for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And then he'd wake up raring to go on the next Smash Brothers.
Yeah, he'd be the Rip Van Winkle of Nintendo.
He already looks like he doesn't age.
Yeah, that's true.
He looks like he's in his early 20s.
Yeah. I guess if he never stops long enough, he just, time won't catch up with him.
Yeah.
He's just constantly running from time.
The minute he stops working is the minute his body will start to age.
Like the picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
The end of the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sakurai just turns to dust. That's depressing. Oh, no, no.
Yeah.
Please no. He needs to make a new Kid Icarus.
Or a Kirby game that doesn't involve yarn.
Yeah. All right, so hey, we gotta end on a high note. So let's do the last Nintendo thing.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that. I forgot. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Labo VR. The new Labo kit's coming out, and it's all about virtual reality on the Switch.
Yeah, so Labo was the cardboard stuff.
Cardboard folding, crafting, science-y business for kids.
Very sciencey, yeah.
Now it's having a VR kit that basically builds a Google Cardboard for your Switch.
Yeah.
To do VR directly into your face.
And that's cool, yeah. Strap your Switch into your face and play a game.
Now, I've heard over and over again online that the Switch doesn't have a high enough resolution to support VR, but...
I don't know, you put that thing close enough to your face.
Yeah,
it's going to work.
Yeah. Like, I'm curious to see how it works. I am a fan of VR. I think it's really fun and cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I haven't previously bought any of the Labo stuff because it's not really for me.
Right.
But there is a big kit that has more designs, and then there's a $40 one that's just basically builds you a set of goggles. And I'll probably get that. I'm curious to see what Nintendo does with VR.
Yeah, and I will patiently wait until you buy that $40 one and let me know if it's any good.
I have not tried any type of VR.
Oh man, you should.
It's pretty fun.
I'm worried that I can't.
Oh yeah.
You might be. It works okay for me, and I have one eye that's basically blind.
Because I know I can't do 3D or anything like that.
Yeah, I can't either. But
I can't do 3D. I can't even do Magic Eyes. That's the worst.
I can't do those either. And I spent so much time as a little kid trying to do
I did too. I had like my grandparents would buy me Magic Eye books.
Same.
And I'm like, all I see is these blurry colors. I don't see anything. When's it my turn to see the sailboat?
Yeah, exactly. I know, and I didn't know that I just physically couldn't.
Yeah, I thought I was doing something wrong.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough time.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I want a Vive so bad. I do. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't want to spend the money if I can't get the full enjoyment out of it.
We'll have to have a game night, and I'll bring over
your
my
PlayStation VR.
You can try that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, well, hey, I think we've pretty well wrapped up the show, so let's go ahead and get on out of here. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can catch us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Nerd Overload Now.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nerd Overload TV. And is this where I plug the new show?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to plug the new show. We've got a new show coming called Nerd Overload Super Game Club, where we all play a game for a month and then talk about it at the end. The game for this month is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. You can start playing it now and sending in your impressions and your memories and your feelings while playing the game, and we'll talk about them on air when we record the episode for it.
Yeah.
It's like a book club, but for games.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah. Also, this show is on a whole bunch of different places you can find podcasts. You know what? We'll say Spotify this week. Spotify is a good place to go check us out.
It's a great place.
It's a great place to check us out, actually. We also have t-shirts. Go to bit.ly/nerdoverloadT. And like we mentioned earlier in the show, the Patreon. Patreon.com/nerdoverloadnow. So yeah, I think that pretty well does it. So
get the show early, be the envy of all your friends.
That's right. All right, so again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Pizza out.